What's going on is, as you can tell, these are a side by side of two businessmen. One being the guy that doesn't prioritize recovery, and the other one prioritizes recovery. I think it's own, but I love this graphic. It shows a visual representation of what I'm about to get into. How does the guy on the right prioritize recovery? First thing is going to be sleep. Now, sleep is going to be your primary mode of full systems regeneration, if you will. It's when things like testosterone and growth hormones spike, your memory consolidates, and your nervous system resets. Not only is this great for your physical health, but it's going to impact every other aspect of wellness. Ideally, you want 7.5 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Typically, going to bed around the same time, ideally starting before 11, and having that consistency of the wake and sleep time. What I always recommend for your bedroom or your sleeping arrangements is it should be cold, dark, and quiet. If you don't have all three of those, it's okay, but ideally you can have all three of those. And I would also recommend taking naps in the afternoon or after your training sessions within an hour or two of that. That's just going to help your central nervous system calm down, relax. You're no longer in that fight or flight mode. You can just chill out and you get some recovery benefits there. And your energy and mood will enhance, which looks like the guy on the right. Now, the second form of recovery is going to be active recovery. That's similar to what I'm doing now, in a sense. As I'm on a walking pad, you can see me moving back and forth. Active recovery is low intensity movement done with specific goal of improving things like circulation, so your blood flow, clearing out the lactic acid in the sore muscles or the muscles that are recovering. You're improving things like mobility. When I was getting certified as a corrective exercise specialist, we talked about certain phases, right? So muscle, that can look foam rolling or using something to massage it, getting that knot out, bringing a little bit of pressure to it. And also, people think foam rolling is literally just rolling back and forth over something. You truly want to roll until you feel, I'm just representing with my upper body because it's in frame, but you want to roll. Say you're rolling your back or your traps or your neck, or your traps is fine. You want to roll until you feel tension, and then you don't just roll over it. What you do, and this is backed by science or studies, is you rest on that tension and you continue to apply more pressure over, say, 30 to 60 seconds. You don't just roll back and forth on it. What's going to actually break it down is applying that pressure, moving into the pain, yoga, breathing through it, and that's what's going to help you to alleviate that knot. Now, that's only the first step. The second step is going to be stretching in a dynamic way, because that's going to help elongate and flex the muscle, and it's going to build up more heat in the body, again, similar to yoga, where you are not trying to move a cold muscle, a cold stagnant muscle, but you're moving and expanding a muscle that is warming up. Moving through that range of motion, typically the range of motion is going to be slow and limited at first, and then as you go, it's going to expand, and then as you go, you can start to really move and get the blood flowing through. After that, you're going to isolate and do an isolated, again, you're going to isolate the muscle. Say it is your traps, you're going to do shrugs and strengthen it. So you're isolating the muscle itself, and then after that, you want to do what they call incorporating. So you want to incorporate it into larger movements of functional things or larger lifts. Say you're working on your pecs. First, you're going to roll it with a lacrosse ball, and then you're going to do some stretches to open it up, etc. You can do some static stretching, but that's ideally for after your workouts. And then what you're going to want to do is some chest flies, because that more or less isolates it. And then after that, you're going to do a bench press or an incline press or a machine press, where you're incorporating your triceps or your shoulders or something else a little bit more, or an incline. A little bit on that. Other methods are going to be things just swimming, whether you're in a pool, at a low, slow, moderate, or lower, slow pace. Going for walks. I am a bit advocate for things like swimming in the ocean. Not only is it moving your body if you're in a pool or something, but there are added benefits to just being in nature and grounding your body. Same thing goes for barefoot walks in nature. Ideally do this in a place where it's safe to walk barefoot. Typically the beach is going to be a good idea. If you don't have access to that, find a body of water or just go out along a trail as long as you feel safe and get that done. If not, if it's not accessible, that's understandable. Just go for a walk, even a light jog, a very light jog. One of those, or a good walk could be helpful, or even cycling, going out for a bike ride. Always be safe with that, but that is going to be your active recovery. Now, moving on to the third and final step, passive recovery, stillness and natural inputs. A lot of times what we carry in the body that we need to recover from is truly inflammation. Inflammation is the enemy of your fast recovery. So by lowering inflammation, not only through the diet, but through sleep, active recovery, and now the third step, passive recovery, we can lower that inflammation, lower the stress in the body, because we're causing stress, but we don't want to continue to have stress in our lives or in our body truly when we're trying to recover. We want to have a low stress environment, a low inflammation diet. Lowering inflammation and stress is going to be key. How do we do that? First off, passive recovery and active recovery, the differentiation there is passive recovery practices don't require physical exertion, but they still promote healing through stillness, stimulation, or an environmental input. What I mean by that is an environment that is very hot, a sauna or a steam room. Those are fantastic for recovery. Cold exposure, whether that's an ice bath, a cold ocean dip, a jump in a cold lake, cold showers can be helpful. Even just a few seconds or a few minutes can do a lot. Also, there are things, massage, which I recently got, try to do every couple months. Acupuncture, I know that, or my roommate has a Shakti mat, which I would look up. That's a do-it-yourself acupuncture, and not needing to lay down with a bunch of needles. Or muscle scraping as part of massaging is good. Cupping, I have a cupping device, a portable do-it-yourself cupping device. You also need to know how to do that, and there's a bit more that goes into it, but that is a fantastic tool that brings a whole lot of blood flow to a specific point and alleviates that pressure by basically using suction to bring more blood flow into a spot that has some tension. It alleviates that tension. It may leave a mark on your body if it's a high amount of suction for an extended period of time. Typically 10 to 20 minutes is all you need, but it can be very helpful. It'll just leave a bruise, most likely. Now, another thing that is underrated is truly just sunbathing or getting out and getting some sunlight, whether that's morning sun or evening, a sunset. That's going to help with your circadian rhythm. And then what they call, I forget what it's called, day noon or sun noon, basically, I forget what it's called, but where the sun is basically at the peak of where it's going to be for you for that day. Might not always align with noon, but typically in the afternoon for us, or for me here on the East Coast. That, getting sun in a safe way, of course, don't stay out all day in the sun to sunburn and other things. But getting that vitamin D, it's also going to help you with step number one being that sleep. And also if you're outside, you're probably getting some form of active recovery unless you're just sunbathing, etc. Another thing that is key, we want to lower inflammation and lower stress, and these things do that. Things like meditation, breath work, even float tanks. If you have access to a float tank, sensory deprivation tanks where you are limiting your sensory inputs so that you can get more in tune with your true essence. It's probably the best way I can put that. You're weightless, you're not hearing anything, you're not seeing anything, you just are, but you're still awake, etc. Doing those things are going to lower your stress. If you're not accustomed to that, it may sound a bit scary or odd, but I would highly recommend it if you are into the meditation practices. Otherwise, definitely start a meditation practice. It's been one of the most transformative things for my life and my well-being, and typically it's free. Just the guided things I do on YouTube for free. Just put in some earphones. I normally throw on like I'm doing it during the day, just to close off my sensory input there. So much, to me, the meditation is one that is very underrated, and I would also say can be helpful for if you're an athlete, if you're a businessman, etc. That can also be used going from a meditation into a more visualization or journaling practice, setting yourself up for success. So you're not looking at the guy on the left, you're looking more at the guy on the right, because you have a plan for the day, you have intentions, you have values, you are holding yourself to a higher standard because you know that you can achieve these things through your working on your mindset, etc. Truly, this is all about letting your body recover without getting in the way. A lot of people try to work out every day, and I used to be that guy, but I have certain days where my intensity is intentionally drawn back. I'll go for a long run, nice low intensity, steady state run. I'll do some yoga, stretching my body, because if you're somebody that all you do is hit the gym, there's no question that you're going to have muscle tightness, muscle soreness that tends to compound and inhibit you over time. So by having some balance, whether that's with conditioning, whether that's sprinting, interval training, or more of an endurance thing, I keep all my workouts, as I am a businessman, under 45 minutes. I'm there for an hour or less, even a half hour. Sometimes I can get things done and good to go. But with that said, try to get out into nature. It's going to help you with recovery. That's going to be ideal for your recovery based or even some of your active exercises. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Make sure you drop a comment and share this with somebody that may benefit from it. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Shoot me an Instagram message or comment here if you have any ideas for other videos or questions that I can help you answer. The corrective exercise stuff is going to be probably another video idea for another time, but I went over a brief overview. Try to get one of these things done each day. Get quality sleep and or take a nap if you don't get quality sleep. Do some active recovery, going for a walk, going for a swim, doing some foam rolling, doing some stretching, etc. And then on the passive side, sit with yourself, get a little meditation in, go out, lay in the sun, do some other things that are going sauna, cold exposure, etc. If you do all of these things, you're going to look and feel a whole lot better. Like I got right here. I hope that visual representation has been helpful. Let me know what else I can do to help you guys out, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.